Okay, so good morning, everyone. Here we are today in the second seminar. You know that we are organizing during this lockdown situation. We are organizing some online webinars trying to show you some advantage or some special tricks or things or some guides to show you how to configure all our most of our devices. So today here we are showing you the CUBIKs, the push button devices. So some of you have been asking us about the previous seminar, how to access to it, or how to trying to visualize it again, or the ETS projects, the presentation, and so on. So the video is already on our YouTube channel, so you can check it there whenever you want, but we are working on a new website area, so we will link the video, the presentations, and the ETS projects in our website. So really soon, that new area in our website is going to be available, and you will have the option to check the video, to visualize it again, and also the PowerPoint presentation plus the ETS projects. But if you want to access to the video right now, you can do it through our YouTube channel, okay? So today's second seminar is going to be time for the CUBIKs, for the push buttons. We have split the CUBIKs in two different seminars. Today we will see all functions related to the tactile areas, the push buttons, inputs, and etc. And the next seminar, this Wednesday, we will see the thermostat part, the temperature control option. Okay, so Andres is here today, also connected to explain us all related to the CUBIKs. In case we will try to proceed like the other day. In case you have some questions, you can text it in the chat. You can open in the lower bar. You have a chat that you can open over there, and you can write or you can text over there all the questions you have during the seminar. So I will try to stop Andres in some points where I consider the question could be interesting. If we don't have time in the middle, we will answer all pending questions at the end. Okay, so Andres, all yours, and you can go ahead with the presentation. Thank you so much for all the people to stay here with us today, and let's enjoy with Andres' presentation. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second webinar. Today, as Miguel told you, we will speak about the CUBIKs, especially about the push button and the LED part. Well, first of all, I'm Andres, and this is the mail in which you can contact me or our technical team if you have any other doubt or you need anything from our side. You can contact us in this mail. And this is our website. And I want to show you our website because in this part, well, this is the website. In this part, the KNX products part, you can find a lot of technical information that may help you when you have a project. So today we will speak about the touch button. Here you have all the different models, and in each model you will find the datasheet and programming manual, and frequent questions, answers, also the ETS app, everything. In the programming manual, you will find all the information about the different parameters and the communication objects. So today I will explain you a bit of these communication objects and parameters, but you can find all the information in this programming manual. So let's move to the presentation. The CUBIKs. Well, The cubics are devices that have a capacitive touch glass surface with light indicators. We have different sizes, the square format one and the vertical rectangular format. Let me show you the camera to show you the difference between the square format and the vertical rectangular format. Activate the camera. Okay. So this one, the one in the right, is the square format, and the other one is the vertical rectangular format. Let me go again. Presentation. Okay, so in the square format, we have the CUBIK-T, that it's only a thermostat. I mean, it doesn't have any push button, any touch area. And we have the CUBIK-SQ2, CUBIK-SQ4, and CUBIK-SQ6. Each one have, well, the SQ2, two different touch areas, the SQ4, four different touch areas, and the SQ6, six independent touch areas. And in the vertical format, we have the, well, also with 6 independent touch areas and with 8 independent touch areas. And the last one, that is the CUBIK-TL, that has 8 independent touch areas plus a display to show the temperature. This one is the one that you see, that you saw in the camera. Let me show you. It's that one with the 8 different touch areas and the display to show the temperature. Okay, so all the cubics has a built-in temperature sensor, also a PI thermostat, arithmetic logic unit, timers and counters, a built-in humidity sensor, and the dew point measurement. And well, a very nice thing about the cubics is that you can customize everything, all the design of the front size of the cubic. We have 3 different levels of customization. The basic one, that it's with, well, no customization, only black or white in the front size, without icons, without logos, without, well, anything printed on it. Then we have the design option, the design level of customization, in which you can select to print on the front glass a logo, any icon that you want to print. You can choose the background. You can, well, you can set an image. You can put a different color. Well, you can do everything you want in the front side of the cubic. And this option, the design option, in this option, the glass is fixed to the electronic. Okay, fixed with a special glue, and it's fixed. And then we have the capriccio option. In this option, you can choose the logo, you can personalize everything, the icons, the background, everything. And the front part of the cubic is fixed with magnets. So it allows you to change that part, to change the glass with another glass. And well, it's a really good option, especially for housing, because you can change the design of your push button. We have an app to configure all this design of the front part of the cubic, and I will show you the app. Well, when we finish with the parameters in the ETS, we will move to the app, and I will show you how to do it. So now Well, we will move to the ETS, and today I will show you the buttons and the LEDs, well, the functions with the buttons and the LEDs. And I will also show you the night mode and the cleaning mode. Well, on the next webinar on Wednesday, I will show you the thermostat functions, the humidity sensor, and all these things. But for today, with the buttons, the LEDs, the night mode, the cleaning mode, and also the app to design the cubics, I think that it will be more than enough. So, well, we will move to the ETS. And this is the CUBIK catalog, okay? So we have a general tab in which we can choose the cubic that we are using. We'll set this one, for example. And you can choose which functions do you want to use. For example, the thermostat function, the humidity sensor, the dew point protection, night mode, cleaning mode, and the advanced functions that are, well, to set logical gates and timers and counters. So we will start with the buttons part. Well, we choose the one with 6 different buttons with 6 different touch areas. So we will find that we have 6 different functions here to choose. In each button, you can choose to send telegrams when you open or close the button. That means when you press or release the button. And you can also choose to send telegrams with a short press and a long press. So we will see both. So I will set in the first one, I will set the short long push button, and in the other ones I will leave this configuration. So for the button one, we have an action for the short press and an action for the long press. And we have the time to detect a long press. So if you set here, for example, 5 seconds, you will need to press the button for 5 seconds to allow the CUBIK detect it as a long press, okay? So for example, 1 second. So in each action, you can choose which telegram you want to send, okay? For example, in this case, in the short press action, you are setting a switch action. So it will send a 1, and then it will send a 0, and then a 1, again and again. You can also choose to send always a 1, send always on. So each time you press, you are sending a 1. You can send always a 0. You can select to send a value, a 1 byte value or a 2 byte value, depending on what you need in each case. For example, let's send a DPT9 that is a temperature. You can choose to send 25 degrees, for example, only with a short press. You can make a dimming to increase or decrease the set point, also a dimmable light. You can dim it with this button. You can control a shutter or a blind, moving it or stopping it. You can activate or learn a scene number. Well, you can also deactivate the action don't do anything when you press it. And you have all these options also in the long press action. Right? Oh, okay. Well, then in the open and close switch, you have the option to choose when do you want to send the telegram. Okay, you can send it in the falling edge, that means when you release the button, in the rising edge, that is when you press the button, and also you can send 2 different telegrams, one of them when you press the button, and one of them when you release the button. So, well, if you select that option, you will find a telegram for the open value, when you press the button, and another one when you press in the close value when you release the button. And well, for any of them, you have the same options. You can send a value, you can activate or learn a scene. So well, you can send many different telegrams. Okay. Okay, so that's all about the buttons. As you have seen, they are similar to our inputs that we saw on last Wednesday. The inputs in the actuators, and they have the same function, the possibility to send any telegram that you want. Okay, so now we will move to the LEDs configuration. Okay, in this part, you can only select if you want to enable or disable the LEDs. Okay, so let's move to LED number 1, for example. You can choose to have it normally open or normally closed, to turn it on or off with a 1 or with a 0. And you can choose the on brightness level and the off brightness level, because sometimes the 100% is too much, or so you can change the on brightness level to, for example, I don't know, 75%, 4%. And the off brightness levels, but sometimes you don't want to have the LED completely off, so you can set 10% or then you can choose the status after a voltage recovery. If there is a power cut and then the voltage come again, you can choose if you want to have the LED off, on, or without any changes. You can also lock or unlock the LED. So if you lock the LED, also you send to the LED orders to turn on or turn off the LED. It will not do anything. And have also a timer that can allow you to set delays in the on or in the off of the LEDs, or to set a staircase timer. The staircase timer means that it will turn on when it receives a 1, and it will remain on for this time, and then it will turn off automatically. Then, about the LEDs, that's all. But we have in the CUBIK-TL, which I explained you, that it's the cubic with the display in the upper part. Let me show you again the camera. Okay, this one, you don't only have to configure the LEDs that are in the icons part, in the buttons part. You also need to configure these LEDs, the display LEDs. So to configure that LEDs, if we set the CUBIK-TL as our device, in the LED configuration, you will have this part, okay? This part that is the display part. So in this part, you can choose which temperature you want to display in that display part. You can choose between the set point temperature, that is the temperature that you want to have in the room, the room temperature, that is the temperature that the temperature sensor is measuring, or both. How the CUBIK represent both temperatures? Well, it represents always the room temperature, the temperature measured in the room, and then for these seconds, in this case 5 seconds, it represents the set point temperature each time you modify that temperature. So if you change the set point temperature because you want to have, I don't know, 19 degrees in the room, it will show that 19 degrees for 5 seconds, and then it will show back the measured temperature. After that 5 seconds, it will start to show the real temperature in the room. Okay, you can also lock or unlock that, well, that display, because you can also turn on and off the display. So you can lock it, and if the display is locked, you will not be able to turn it off or on. Well, it also can work as normally open or normally closed, and you can also set a staircase timer. Well, if you want to turn it on, have it on for some seconds, for example, I don't know, for a minute, and then it will automatically turn off again, okay? So that's all about the LED configuration. Here in the communication objects, let me show you. Okay, you have the object to switch on and off the LED, and the object to, well, to inform you about the status of that LED, to transmit you the status. In the buttons, you only have one communication object for each function. That means in the long press and the short press, you will have two. I think that now we have it, well, with no action. Let me put it here. Okay. So if you set two different functions, you will have two different communication objects. And for the others, you have one communication object for each function. Okay. Then we have, well, here we have the communication objects for the measured temperature, to write the set point, to inform us about the set point, and, well, the heating output. Let me show you that part in the parameter. Okay, the part of the thermostat configuration, the part of the temperature controller. Well, this part is to configure the temperature sensor. Okay, this first part of the thermostat configuration. You can use an external temperature sensor if you prefer. So if you select external temperature sensor, you will have to enter the measured temperature in this. Let me show you. Where is the measured temperature? External measured temperature. Okay, you will have to transmit to the CUBIK the other thermostat measure in this communication object, through this communication object. If you use the built-in temperature sensor, you can calibrate the sensor if you need it. And you can choose when do you want to transmit the measured temperature. If you want to transmit it cyclically, or you want to transmit it when there is a change, or both, what do you want? Then we have the temperature control. This part is the part that we will speak about on the next webinar. Okay, it's a long part of the CUBIK, so we will speak about it in the next webinar. Now I will explain you the night mode and the cleaning mode. The night mode is to have a different a different brightness value for nights, or for any moment that you need to decrease the brightness value. Maybe if you have the CUBIK in a room and you don't want any light, you can choose to have a 0%. Also the LED is on. So, well, it will change the brightness of the LEDs in the CUBIK, that mode. You will have this communication object to activate or deactivate the night mode. And the cleaning mode, that is, well, it's to clean the CUBIK, to allow you to clean the CUBIK without pressing any button. So you can activate that mode. and all the different buttons will automatically get blocked. So you will be able to clean the CUBIK without pressing any button. Okay. Okay, so as you see, in all the CUBIK buttons, you can set many different functions. That's why sometimes it's really important to have the customizable design. So now we will move to the CUBIK app, to the app to design all the front part of the CUBIKs, to show you how it works and how to make that designs. You can find the CUBIK app in our website. If you go to KNX products and you select the push buttons, the touch buttons and thermostat, you will find it here, CUBIK configurator, okay? Have it here. You need to log in with a mail and a password, okay? To register with a mail and a password. And then you will have this part. Okay. Here I have some examples that I have made with different designs, with different icons, well, everything. Okay. For example, this one with different icons, different colors, a very colorful background. You can also have like more simple ones, like this one that is white, but you can select the icons that you want to use. You know, this one that is like with a marble texture. Well, the options are several. So we will make a new project to test it. Project. You create your project, okay? And then you can start with a new design. In the first part, you have to put a name to your design. For example, design number 1. And you can choose between the design option, the capriccio with the casing and the glass, or the capriccio only the glass. Only the glass with the magnet to change that glass with another glass with casing that you have. Okay, so we will make a design. For example, you can select the color of the back casing, and then the model of the CUBIK. For example, we will make that one, the CUBIK with 6 different buttons and vertical rectangular configuration. Next step is to configure the background, okay? So you can use an image. So, you can drag and drop an image here, or select this and select a picture for this one, for example. Okay, select what you want. Okay, so now we have the image. You can also choose a color in this part. Well, for example, if you want green, if you want it, everything you want, we will come back for the image. Okay, so in this part, you select the background. Then you move to the icons part. In this part, you can enter your icons, the icons that you want to have in the CUBIK. So for example, we will choose a light here. We will choose, I don't know, an arrow here. And in this one, we will choose, a garage door. Okay. And then you can select the icons change the size of the icons, also the position. You can put it down the LED, up the LED, or into the LED. Well, you prefer. Also the horizontal position and the color of the LED. And a very interesting part is that you can write. You can put text also in the icon. So for example, this will be to turn on and off the light of the kit. Okay, you have different fonts to select the text that you prefer. And also you can choose the color of the text. Okay, for example, if you want to have the same color for all the text and the same color for all the icons, we want that. Okay, so that's not a beautiful one, but as you see, you can choose everything in the icons. You have many icons here, and if you need to add a special icon that you want to have in your CUBIK, you can contact us and we will include your icon in our list. But well, as you see, there are many icons here to choose. Well, next part and last part about the CUBIK app, it's the logo part. So you can, for hotels, for anything, for offices also, for office buildings, you will need sometimes to add logos. So we have here, for example, this is the logo of an important football club here in our region. And you can select the opacity, make it bigger, put it where you want, if you prefer to have the logo here, or you want to have it, in the corners, or so you can insert logos, put the logos in where you want. So then you have to save it. Okay, and then you have the your design in your project. So to place the order and to let us know that you want that designs in your project, you need to go here, place order, and put the order code. The order of the we will, when you make an order, we will give you a code. So with that code, you enter that code here, and we will know that that designs correspond to your order. Okay, and then you also have this option, to rename the project, but the important option is this one that allows you to export the project in a PDF. And maybe it's useful to show it to your client, or it's really useful, this option, to have it in PDF. So that's all about the CUBIK design app. As you have seen, it's very easy to use it. I think also your clients can use it to make its own designs of their houses or their hotels, or or anything they need. And after that part, we will move to make some programming examples in the ETS. So the first example, we will turn on and off the LEDs on the right side of the CUBIK with the buttons on the left side. And we will configure also the night mode to change the brightness value. So we will go to this one, that is the CUBIK that I have here in my table. And it is a CUBIK-TH 6. we will activate the night mode because we want to configure it, and we don't need the thermostat function. So this is enough. Then we don't need any short or long push button. We will use only the open and close switch. And with the button one, we want to turn on and off the LED number 2. So we need to set it, well, as it is here. We need to, in the action, we need to switch on and off. And each time we press, each time we close the LED, we press the button, we need to switch between 1 and 0 to turn it on and off. Okay, we don't do anything with button 2. With button 3, we will also make the same as with button 1, and also with button 5, we will make the same to turn on and off the buttons, the LEDs in the right side. So about the LEDs, okay, we will use the LED number 2. Okay, we will turn it with a 1 and turn it off with a 0. On brightness level 100%, of brightness level 0%, so it's okay. LED 4, same configuration, and LED number 6, same configuration. So we go to the communication object part, and with the button number 1, 01 group address, already exists. Set 101. We will turn on LED number 2. With the button number 3, we will, well, this is the button 3. And with the button 3, we will turn on the LED number 4. And with the button number 5, we will turn on and off the LED number 6. So if we program CUBIK, let me show you the camera. Let's wait for the programming. I think it's finished. So, okay, so if we press the button number 1, we turn on and off the LED number 2. With the button number 3, we turn on and off the LED number 4. And with the button number 5, we turn on and off the LED number 6. Okay, so we have this part done, this part of the example. Let's move again to configure the night mode. Okay, so if we go to the parameters, in the night mode, we can choose the light brightness that we want for the on LEDs and the off LEDs. So, for example, I will put, well, I think it's okay, 50% for the on, and we will let like, well, 20% or the off LEDs. Okay, so when the LEDs are off, they will be brightening at 20%. This is 20, 50%, 20%, and 20%. Program it again. Okay, Let me show you the camera again. Now, sorry, we have to activate that mode. Sorry, we have to put it in a button to activate or deactivate it. So, this is the communication object to activate or deactivate the mode, and we will activate and deactivate it, for example, with the button number 6, okay? So, this is the button number 6. And we will link it with that communication object. So with button number 6, we will activate or deactivate the night mode. Let's program it again. Okay, let's go to the camera. Oh, it continues with the, if you press here, you will be able to turn on and off. And with that button, we activate, well, I don't know if in the camera you see the change. Well, yeah. So there is a change when you activate, like now, the night mode, and you deactivate the night mode, okay? Maybe in the camera you don't see it very much, but well, but
yeah, Andres,
here,
I confirm that we can see. At least in my computer, I can see. I suppose that the rest of the people can also
maybe
see.
Well, in the camera, it's with this quality of camera, yeah, it's not as clear as live here, but well, I think it's enough. And then if we activate the night mode, like now, and we turn off the LED, do you see the change between the on and the off?
Yes, okay. Yes, we can see it. Yes.
So in the off, it's 20% of the brightness, and with the on, it's 50%. Okay, so that's the night mode, and sometimes it's very useful, especially if you have the cubics in the bedrooms. It's very useful to have, well, a lower brightness in the LEDs. Okay, so that's all about that example. We will move to the next one. Next example, we want to send temperatures from the buttons to the, well, to the other device, to the other CUBIK, the CUBIK-TL, to change the set point from the buttons. So we will go to the ETS, okay? First of all, we are going to configure, well, like 2 buttons, 2 or 3 buttons to send different temperatures. For example, the button number 2 and the button number 4, that we have 3 here. So the button number 2, we want to send, well, sorry, we want to send a value. We want to send a temperature. So temperature is DPT number 9, 2 bytes float type of telegram. So for example, with the button number 2, we will send a temperature of, I don't know, maybe 18 degrees, for example. And in button number 4, we will do the same. We will send, we will send a value. Well, no, maybe we can do it to show you with a falling edge. That means that it will send the telegram when we release the button, not when we press it, only when we release the button. So we will also send 2 bytes float value, and in this case we will send 25 degrees. Okay, so 18 degrees here with the rising edge when we press the button, and 25 degrees here in the falling edge when we release the button. So now in the CUBIK-TL, we have to link that buttons with this communication object, because this communication object is the set point temperature. It's the temperature that you want to have in the room. So we go here and we, well, Also in the CUBIK-TL, we will set the display here. We will set the display to represent the set point temperature. It's okay, like this. To represent the temperature that you want in the room, and that which is the temperature that we are going to send from the other CUBIK to this CUBIK-TL. So we go to the group objects, and we want to link the button number 2 and button number 4. We want to link both with the set point temperature. So button number 2 with the set point temperature, and button number 4 with the set point temperature. Well, 61, it's the button number 4. Okay. So we are going to program
Andres. Andres,
yeah?
try to do partial download. So because Suki is asking in the chat why you're using application download instead of partial download. So try to use partial download just to show him and the rest of the people that it's also possible to do that.
Oh, but it's the same for, well, okay. So that is partial download. It's a bit slower, but well, it's okay. It's also okay. Okay, we have it, and I will show you in the camera. So now, if we press the button number 2, this one, it sends the 18. I don't know if you see the. Do you see the 18 number? Well, 18 number in the display. And if you send this one, it sends 25. But the difference is that here, when I press, it sends the 18. And in the other one...
Andres, try to move a little bit the CUBIK-TL because we cannot see the number. Right now, if you put your hand with some shadow,
okay.
We just need a small shadow on the number.
Okay, so in this one, okay, so here it sends the telegram when I release the button. So if I press, it's not sending, and when I release the button, it sends the new value of the set point. So that's the difference between the raising edge and the falling edge when you configure the buttons, okay? That difference. In this one, we have the raising edge, that is when you press the button, and in this one, we have the falling edge, when you release the button. So that's all about that example. And now the last example today will be to decrease the set point temperature from 2 buttons in the CUBIK-TL, okay? And well, we will also configure the cleaning mode. So we will go to the CUBIK-TL. We will need to act on these 3 different communication objects. In this communication object, and also in this one, each time you send a 1 to these different communication objects, the temperature will increase if you send it to that communication object, and decrease if you send it to the other one, to this one. Okay, it will decrease by 0.2 degrees each time you send a 1 here. And here you will make a continuous change in the set point. So we will send with a short press in the buttons. We will send a 1 to this communication object or to this communication object, and with the long press we will make a dimming in this communication object. We will use, as you see in this image, we will use the button number 2 and the button number 4. So in the buttons, we want to have the short and long, well, not in this one, in the button number 2. We want to have the short, long push button, and also in the button number 4. Okay, now in the button number 2, each time we press the button, we want to send a 1 because we want to act on this communication object. So every time we press the button, we want to send a 1. Sorry, this one. Okay. So we configure it to send always a 1. And in the long press action, we want to make a dimming and we want to increase the temperature. Okay, we want to increase the set point. Here the step is, well, it's not important because we will increase it continuously until we release the button. And we make a long press, we will make a second to detect the long press, for example. In the button number 4, almost the same. In the short press, we need to send a 1. And with the long press action, we want to make a dimming, but this time we want to decrease the set point. In this button, we have the increase action, and in this button, we have the decrease action. And we want also a second here. Okay, so now about the LED configuration. We are showing always the set point temperature, but I want to show you this option. The option to, well, to show the room temperature, the measured temperature, and then show the set point when we change it for 5 seconds. So if we go to the communication objects, we have the, well, our short and, okay. So for the long press, for the short press, sorry, this is 1, 2, 0, 0. Short. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is the bottom one. Well, it's for button 2. Sorry. Okay. And this is the long press. Okay. And then we have in the bottom 4 the same, a short press. This is for the bottom 4. Oh, sorry, it's a short press. Well, short press for bottom 4, and this is the long press for bottom 4. Okay, so now the short press in the bottom 2, that is the button to increase the set point, we will link the short press with the communication object to increase the set point. So each time we make a short press in the button number 2, we will send a 1 to this communication object, and the temperature will increase by 0.2 degrees. Short press for button 4, same thing, but in the decrease communication object. And both long presses for the increase decrease to dim the set point temperature. Okay, so we will program this part. Well, Here one partial, we will make partial. And if we go to the camera, now the cubic is showing the measured temperature, okay? If we make a short press, let me, it's not easy to press it, okay? If we make a short press, it increases the temperature by 0.2. Each time we press, it increases 0.2. If we make a short press in the other button, in the button number 4, it will decrease the temperature by 0.2. And if we make a long press, for example, in the upper button, it will dim the set point. It will increase the set point progressively. And in the other button, in the button number 4, same thing, but decreasing the temperature progressively. So that's all about this example. Now, if you have questions, you can put that questions in the chat, or you can tell me if you have made questions in all this speech. Miguel, there are any questions in the chat? Are there any questions?
Well, I think we have clarified all of them online. Well, right now there's a question from Tony about the limit, the higher and lower limit for the set point.
Well, for now in this cubic version, we don't have limits in the thermostat. We don't have limits in the set point. But we are working, our R&D team is working in a new version, and in that version, we will include that limit.
Yeah, I have seen many questions in the chat. We will have time next seminar to talk about thermostat options and so on, but I have read some questions about, or some doubts about why we have two different controls for LEDs and for tactile areas and so on. So in the next version of the CUBIKs, I mean, in the next
update of the
catalog update or version we are preparing, that's going to be synchronized at all. I mean, the LED dot and the CUBIK, you will have the chance to manage them together as well. So you only have to manage once to control both at the same time. The catalog is more or less ready. So in case you want to check it or you want to test or you want whatever, just feel free to ask me, to send me an email, and I can share with you that version, preliminary version we have ready. And that's the one of the best advantage we are including in that new version. Another one is that one that Andres is describing right now, where you will have the chance or the option to define set point limits, upper and lower limits for the set point. I don't know if there is another questions. Yeah, there is a question. Can we send a set point as 2 bytes from mobile app, for example?
Yeah, sure. From the app, you can send different values with. Well, we will speak about the app and how to configure the web server and everything. In I think it's in. I don't know.
Seminar 6, seminar 7.
6 and 7. Okay, so
but yes, the question, the answer is yes. You can do that. You can send
yes,
also.
and we will explain how to do it in the seminar number 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm. There is only option to program AC. I do not understand very well the question, Suki. I don't know if you can give us some more details. In parallel, I don't know if someone else has any questions. In case, you know, it's time right now to text on the chat, so we can clarify all those questions. Remember that we will add all this material online, the video for the presentation, also the PowerPoint, plus the ETS examples. So you will have all of them available really soon in our website. Together with the first seminar as well. Yeah, Andres, I don't know if you can visualize the chat, but Suki is asking you about the AC control.
Well, for the AC control, you will need to send orders to the AC machine depending on the set point temperature and the measured temperature. So yeah, you will need a thermostat to control the AC machine if you want to control it automatically. Of course, you can only turn it on and off from a button, and well, that's enough to control it. If you only want to make an on-off, each time you press a button. But if you want it to work automatically, to turn it on when you really need to turn it on, and turn it off when you reach the set point temperature, you will need the thermostat. You will need the CUBIK.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, related to the question that Suki is doing, we also have the special modes to change the set point. But yeah, well, all those kind of things we will analyze and we will see deeply in the next seminar, because all those things related to the thermostat we will see deeply in the next webinar, next Wednesday at the same time. So not sure if is there any other question or not.
Well, of course, if you have any other question, you can write us to our mail, to the mail that you are seeing in the presentation. Well, I think that's all on this part.
So thanks for today once again, for sharing your time with us today. Of course, we will share the webinar online in our YouTube channel, as I told you, and also the presentation and so on. I will let you know once we have the new area in our website available to share with all of you, okay? So hope to see you all guys next Wednesday for the thermostat. And well, enjoy these days at home to do this kind of things or this kind of learnings. I think it's very important for all of us to be ready when we can go back to the activity. So thanks once again for your time, and see you next Wednesday. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.